Lots of things going on with Marvel Rivals, information about Human Torch, Captain America, Hawkeye, and so many more in this video. And guys, it would mean a lot if you could support the channel. Please hit the like button and subscribe with post notifications on all. That would be amazing, please. As I want to work hard for you to give you as much information as possible, tips, tricks, guides, information, all that stuff. So as a lot of you know, recently we saw Human Torch. And shout out to Miller Ross for getting all this info, giving us first of all the biography. Of course, we won't be reading all of that, but you can get a gist as to like what this character is all about from the backstory. I think a lot of us know the backstory of the character. So the abilities: Fire Cluster, launch forward a splittable fireball. Unless it's splittable fireball. And then we've got Plasma Body, hold shift to enter a state of accelerated ascent. So another flying based character. Launching a fireball to create a flame field as the target area, which is Blazing Blast, which could be like an AoE type thing. Dive forward towards the ground, dealing damage to enemies and detonating any flame fields hit. That's it. That's kind of like a combination AoE, kind of like explosive, like mines on the field type scenario. Very, very cool. Connect flame fields to form a firewall that deals continuous burning damage to enemies with Pyro Prison. Imagine pairing up some of this stuff with like stuns and sleeps. It's going to be insane, especially if you've got like a good team setup. Supernova, explode with cosmic fire to deal damage to enemies within range upon skill activation, or flame fields will transform into flame tornadoes, dealing extra damage. And you've got burning soar rapidly to upwards, which of course is more flight orientated. From a combo setup, ascend with Plasma Body, drain enemies with Fire Cluster and Blazing Blast, set up a flame field and choke points and blockade enemies with Pyro Prison, set up a flame field near enemies and detonate it with Flaming Meteor for massive damage. That's basically an idea of play, how to play the character based on, you know, what the developer says. Let's move on to Hawkeye, which of course we recently covered, where people were like, you know, ripping into the outfit. Again, do bear in mind, skins change the look of these heroes. Did you not know that? You probably haven't been paying attention, but a lot of people in this community know that and respect the art style, and also the fact we can get more costumes. From an abilities perspective, perform a double jump in the direction of movement. Again, cool. That could get you to like a vantage point to shoot down enemies. Archer's Focus, aim at an enemy to improve focus, enhancing the damage inflicted by piercing arrow. Again, another great kind of like ranged based shooter, kind of a sniper. Shoot a powerful arrow with piercing arrow. Shoot 3 explosive arrows with blast arrow. Shoot a hypersonic arrow with hypersonic arrow, dealing additional damage to enemies in its path. Love it. Crescent Slash, perform a frontal slash with a katana. That's very much a kind of a nod to Ronin and the Alter character. Launching hit enemies into the air. Hunter's Sight, capture after images of enemies in its view. Damage dealt with after images is transferred to corresponding enemies. I'm not quite sure what that means. I'm probably not kind of understanding. Ronin Slash though. Swing Wakizashi to strike frontal enemies. I don't know. I also know Throwing Stars, but I think that's the proper name. I don't know. Correct me in the comments. Is that Throwing Stars? Deflecting all incoming projectiles. Wow, okay, very nice. Gives you some kind of like aspect of how to take that on. There's also whittle down enemies from afar with hypersonic arrow and piercing arrow. Close in using skyward leap and unleash massive AoE damage with blast arrow. Again, makes sense. When enemies charge, repel them with well-timed crescent slash. I really can't wait to play this game. I haven't got a code just yet, but I really want to play it. It just sounds so amazing. But of course, that's how to play the character. And despite his lack of superpowers, Hawkeye unparalleled skills as a marksman have earned him a spot alongside Earth's mightiest heroes with cool head and steady hand. Clint Barton never misses targets. Enemies best stay out of his sights. Anyway, let's move on. Well, this is where we come a cropper, which is a British term for we come stuck with the extent of abilities information. Still shout out to Miller Ross for kind of covering all this stuff. We've got biographies of Captain America and just some light description work, so it probably means they're working on something. Moving on to Cloak and Dagger, which has the following. I think this will be about switching. Yeah, you have the switch ability. So switch to Cloak, dealing damage to nearby enemies with Shadow Embrace. Light Force Dagger, shoot a bouncing Light Force Dagger, inflicting damage on enemies while healing allies near the hit enemy. There's so much more to this than meets the eye, especially with create a dark zone dimension to shroud nearby allies around Cloak and the area can move during the duration. Wow, especially because we've got a lot of destruction that has come for this. Look, Ultron is what I'm interested in. However, though, there's not a huge amount because these are still work in progress heroes, which you can check out in the link in the description if you want to have a read for yourself. I've just cherry picked some ones I thought would be quite interesting, like Ultron. Algorithm correction: hold jump to fall slowly, unleash a burning energy beam with encephalo ray. This is the thing where people in the comments need to correct me on stuff because I'm rubbish with pronunciation. Summon drones to grant bonus health to allies within range, centered on himself and the allies marked by imperative patch. It's weird to note that there's villains working with heroes, and that's okay. Just when it comes to stuff like if MODOK is going to be working with Captain America, that would be a bit weird, but it is what it is. Dynamic flight: fly quickly in the direction of movement and then enter a free flight mode. Command and grant drones to follow an ally, constantly healing. Oh, I love this. Radius with more healing for the designated ally. I think this is fantastic. This is going to be like, I'm just going to send the drone, follow them, and then I can just do something else. And that is going to mean that your tank, your Vanguard, is going to be that total powerhouse of getting healing at the same time with imperative patch. Rage of Ultron. Summon Ultron drones to fire. This again is such a cool nod to kind of stuff that we've seen in the past, how to utilize Ultron drones, Ultron commands, other Ultrons. Look, it's like movies coming to life. It is just amazing. It's just sick. I'm so looking forward to this. There's literally so many heroes here. I think I found like all of my favorite heroes. Like Blades noted down in some sort of capacity. Adam Warlock, which we talked about before. Wolverine. Now Wolverine isn't having a hell of a lot of info. There's Invisible Woman, Thing, Iron Fist. Look, there could be so many more that will be announced in some kind of capacity. And I'll probably end on Thor because Thor is such a big character, another favorite of mine. And there is Thor Force. After using his ability, casting Mjolnir Bash grants 1 point of Thor Force. I think this is the thing about taking what. But this is the best parts of Marvel games, where Marvel Avengers not failed, but it didn't do as well. Wield Mjolnir to strike enemies when awakened. Thor can launch lightning arc waves to deal damage. I really want to play this character. Throw Mjolnir forward and then returns, which is hammer throw. Lightning realm, summon lightning to restore Thor Force based on the number of hits enemies. Storm surge, hold and spin Mjolnir before dashing forward and knocking back enemies. And then we've got Awakening Rune, which is interesting because I did talk about, I think it was the previous video, the idea that we have maybe the rune version of Thor. Consume Thor Force to enter Awakened state, granting bonus health and enhancing Mjolnir Bash. Okay. Soar upwards and smite the ground after charging for a duration, inflicting a damage on enemies within range. And then Asgard Blessing, when Lightning Realm is cast, lightning will draw in nearby Chronovians to create a barrier encircling the realm that can that can withstand damage. Wow. Okay, that's gonna be just, yeah. I'm like, my mind is just totally blown on this one, and I really can't wait to play it. Especially when the combo is use hammer throw to deal damage from mid to long range, then seize the opportunity to close in on Storm Surge, unleash Lightning Realm amidst the enemies to restore energy, and activate Awakening Rune to enter an awakened state for a damage burst. It's kind of like that glowing eyes type element. The image of this for Thor is here, which you can see. This is the version that you get, which seems to be, what is it, default? We'll have to see. Yeah, wow. Okay, lots of stuff to unpack. Lots of amazing hero builds. I want to see them in action, but of course that's just the read up. You can go read for yourself in the link in the description. And that's been a video. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. What are your thoughts on some of these heroes though, and the abilities? Bye bye.